Hello my fellow admins and welcome back to another episode of Jira Guides. Void.admin here, and in this video I'll show you how to use JQL in Jira. So let's start. I'm gonna start this guide from the dashboard page of Jira, and a little disclaimer, what you are seeing on my screen is the Jira data center version. This is not Jira Cloud, so some steps from this guide might be different, but at the end of the day JQL is the same, so it doesn't matter if you're using Jira Cloud or Jira data center. So now we are in our dashboard section in Jira, and from here you have two different ways from where you can go into the section of JQL search. So first one, you either select this search box here, and from the drop down you go and select view all issues. This will eventually get into this page, or you select issues from the top menu, and from the drop down you have search for issues, and you click on search for issues and you get into this page. If you don't see after you select search for issues this search bar here, this means that you are in the basic search mode, right? So in this basic search mode you have the drop downs as the field, right? So in order to get into the JQL you need to click on advanced. So if you are seeing this page with all the drop downs, you just need to click on advanced, and now the search changed to this advanced JQL. And from here we gonna start typing some things in this JQL. So what you need to understand that JQL has like clauses, right? So you need to add clauses in this JQL in order to have some results. So you are basically using this advanced search to return results from specific projects, or to return like issues that have specific field values. So I'm going to start with the project equals project. Yeah, I misspelled. So it's project equals, and I have only one project in this Jira environment. And if I go in search, it will return me all the issues inside this project. So this is a clause in JQL, and a clause is combined from three elements. You have the field name, right? You have an operator, and you have the value of that field, right? So project is a field, operator equals, and the name of it. And this together is a clause, right? But in order to narrow down the search, we need to add other clauses, right? So it's either you combine clauses or you separate them. So in order to combine clauses, you need to add an and. If you want to separate clauses, you either add an or, right? So and you combine clauses, and or will separate the clauses, right? So let's say that we want to narrow down this search and we want to combine two clauses, which is like project equals Scrum base, and let's narrow down to only story to show us, right? So we'll add and the issue type, which is the name of the field. Issue type equals story is the value of this field. If you click on search, you see that it narrowed down the search based on what we added in this JQL, which is project equals Scrum base. This is a clause, and issue type story equals story, which is another clause. Basically, this is like a combination of two clauses inside one big clause, which will happen using this and. Right, so now if we want to combine this, like in order for you to understand the difference between and or, right? And is used to combine clauses, or is to separate them. Let's say that we have this clause, which is like combination of the project and issue type story, but we add an or here, and let's say that we added maybe status, right? So we choose status equals, let's say like done, right? If we search this, we have a bunch of results, right? But we need to understand the clause combination. We have this combination, right, of two clauses, which is combined with an and, but we have a separation, right? So we have a separation of or status equals done, right? So now status equals done, we actually search in our Jira in all the projects, everything that contains status done, right? Here I don't have like a bunch of results, right? Because this will get you more results, because using or clause you separated some clauses, right? So now this section will return you stories inside the Scrum-based project, or status equals done, which doesn't have like a narrow down of this clause to a specific project, right? It has to the status done, which will return all the statuses done from your Jira, right? So this is how you understand like the combination when you add and when you add or, because let's say that we want to, let's not use the project, let's use, let's remove everything, right? So let's say that we want to return stories, right? So we have issue type equals story. We have 10 results, right? But when we use or, you basically separate this clause with another clause. So if we type or, now we'll search also with another clause, right? So we have 10 results from issue type story, and we'll search by status equals done, right? And if we search it, you see that the results are more that not like you want, like are more, because you separate the clauses with or. So we have issue type story, it will give you a specific result, and also this result will not be narrowed down. It will be like more issues inside your results because you separate these two clauses, and it will give you like two separate how it's called, results of issues, right? Because if we delete this, right, and we search only status done, it will give us 6 results, right? But this is also including a story, because here issue type equals story, it will also include that one, right? Because that's a story already, right? And it will be returned by this issue type story, right? So in order to understand that this is like a combination of clauses, you either search with status done or you search it by issue type story. So this is not a, usually if you want to narrow down the search, you need to use and, right? Because now if we change this to a issue type story and status done, and we search it, we have only one result, right? Because we also could add like more separation between other clauses, right? So let's say that we want also to add another clause, let's say task choice, which is like a custom field, and the values should be like YouTube, right? I click search, you see, we have 37. Because in these 37 results, we have the status done. We also have, how it's called, the separation of the clause with issue type story. It's found story, and also it has task choice YouTube, right? And if we click on this, this is like a subtask, but it has YouTube, right? But the status is to do. But this will be returned by this clause, task choice YouTube, right? And if you click on the second one, this is story, right? But it's also task choice, right? So this will be returned as an issue by two separate clauses. So one is task choice YouTube, or issue type story will be returned the same way, right? If we remove this status, right, and we type here and we search it, you see that was the same result, which combines in one issue. That's why you need to understand, when you use and you narrow down and you add two clauses together, that result will return an issue that has both values inside one ticket, right? You see this is a story and it's a task choice YouTube. This is a story as task choice YouTube. We select the second one, is the same thing, right? Because and will combine different values inside one ticket and will return that ticket. Or we'll add more results into your search results because it can find task choice on a subtask, right? Not only on a story, right? So this is where you need to understand like this correlation between on and or, and how you can select them and make use of them in the JQL. And you can also use the combination between clauses, also making use of parentheses, right? So let's say that we want either issue type story or task choice YouTube, right? but we can also add them here together as a single clause. But here we also add and status. We can choose status. Yeah, I think that's status equals done, right? So you see now it narrowed down, which is the status done. It will search in all status done, but it also add a combination from another combination, right? So here it will return it issue type story or task choice, right? It will give you a result, right? And from that result, it will also combine the status done. So it will return all the status done. So that's what you need to understand. If we select all these issues, we'll have only the status done, because these are combining with and from this other clauses combination here, right? So this will always have a status done because this is what we choose. And if we look into this, let's take this first example, it's in status done. And if we look, it has task choice, but it also has a story. So it will be returned in this case. This one, it has only task choice, but it doesn't have a story, right? Because it's separated one or, right? So if it's like if JQL finds the task choice YouTube, it will return it, but it also needs to be and status done because it's a combination of the search result inside this ticket. It has the done status, but it also has the task choice, right? So you need to play around with this combination. If you choose and or, also you can make use of these parentheses in order to combine your results, in order maybe to narrow down and to use that combination of clauses inside these parentheses. So this search that we have here cannot be returned by a basic search. You see this switch to basic search is grayed out because the basic search cannot search using these statements, right? These clauses combination with or and and, right? If we had, let's say it like this, let's put as a combination. Let me see if I find any results with this. You see, I have one result because it's a combination in one ticket with all what I've chosen here. So it's a bigger clause with 3 clauses that has been added in the JQL. So we have stories, task YouTube, and status done inside one ticket. It's found only one result. So now you see that I can switch to basic. If I click on basic, I have here, which is project all, because we didn't care about the project. We have the issue type, status, and then also what we search, the task choice, which is like the, how it's called, this is a custom field value. But using like more advanced search functionalities cannot be traced back as a basic search, because basic search cannot return that combination that you are using, like more advanced combinations. And also one more thing that I want to show you besides this clause combination, it's you can also make use of a list. So for example, let's say that we want to return issue type story, right? We search into this issue type story, but we also want to return task choice, right? That's a combination of multiple values, right? So task choice, we want task choice to return all the issues that has task choice has YouTube and GitHub, right? So then we'll use the operator in. We don't have like a single value, we have multiple values. So we'll choose in, and now we add, we open the parentheses and we choose between quotes, we choose YouTube, right? It don't need, like YouTube doesn't need the quotes, and it has been removed by the JQL because it doesn't have, let's say, like another special character inside it, right? If we had YouTube dev here, this will need to be added in the quotes. If not, it doesn't need the quotes. And also GitHub, it's not it doesn't need the quotes because it's a single word, right? So now we need to close the parentheses and we click search, and we see all the results. So this is something that we use with or, right? When you have, because now it will return issue type story. It will always be a story because we added as a issue type story as a single value, but it will also return stories that are either in YouTube or GitHub as the task choice. Now if you click between them, you see we found also GitHub as task choice, but also YouTube. But at the end of the day, the main thing it will take is by the selecting of the issue type story. And also don't forget that what you search here, let's say that by mistake, you've closed this search functionality, you go into the dashboard again, right? And you're like, man, I lost my search results, right? Because maybe you had something difficult that you wrote in that JQL. Bear in mind that you can go directly into what you previously searched by going into the issues and not selecting search for issues, but selecting current search. And now it will return to the previous search from your history, right? So don't be scared if you wrote something difficult here and by mistake you just close the window. If we come back to Jira and just select current search from issues, it will return to what you previously searched in the JQL. So that's pretty much for today's video. I hope I explained it in a good manner for everyone to understand how you can use JQL and what it's exactly found in a JQL search. And I don't know, if you have like more questions about this JQL functionality, just drop down a comment below. If you want me to go more in depth in this JQL section and just, I don't know, more for advanced users, super advanced users, just let me know down in the comments. For any other questions regarding Jira Script Runner, you can find me on my Discord if the YouTube comments are not enough. But that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Like it if you like it. Subscribe. It will also help me a lot. And until the next day, next video. Peace.